Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2021 general readings. We're looking at the first 2 weeks of June, so from the 1st to the 15th, and this reading is for the fire sign of Aries. Welcome everyone, hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Any of the videos in support of this YouTube channel, your likes, shares, hitting that subscribe button, donations, comments, feedbacks, personal readings, all greatly appreciated. Thank you. So this reading is for Aries for the first 2 weeks of June 2021. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Aries. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for an Aries. It's a general reading, so it's always going to resonate a little differently for everyone. Watch all of your signs for the additional insight that it can provide. And if you feel that any of it resonates enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly. You can get that information from clicking on the description link below, that little arrow, Maggie, the number one McGuire at gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond the same day with more information. And I do readings full time, so I'm pretty diligent about scheduling personal readings in as timely a fashion as possible. So please do email me if you're interested. Okay, Aries, let's see what the first 2 weeks of June have in store for you. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. We begin with the Nine of Wands. Maybe feeling a little tired and discouraged with the Four of Wands. Something to do with home, happiness, stability. Yes, we have the Devil here. Negative, toxic cycles, but there's something we get out of it, right? Something addictive, something alluring about the Devil card energy. With the Nine of Coins. Independence, self-sufficiency. We have the Ace of Swords. A new idea, a new perspective, epiphany. With the Knight of Wands. Action, fast movement. From the bottom of the deck for overall energy and focus, we have the Ace of Wands. So we have two aces, Aries. New beginnings, new opportunities, new ideas. Looks like some of you may be taking action on that pretty quickly. I'm getting the feeling, Aries, that in a sense, this is somewhat similar theme to your sister sign Leo. It's kind of the same thing over and over again, right? The same cycle over and over again, and feeling discouraged and maybe just wanting to leave it behind, or could even be making plans to take off. This could be you, it could be somebody close to you, but there's obviously some cycle here going on, an obsessive cycle. I mean, that's what the Devil represents. It represents enslavement, being, addicted to something. It is a card that can show up for conventional addictions, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, working, toxic relationships where there's too much obsessiveness or neediness or power and control issues, mental health disorders. It could be anything really. But even if the thing itself is not unhealthy, the Devil represents that it's become unhealthy. It's become a cycle that keeps going around and around and around again. There's too much energy focused on it. So whenever there's too much energy focused in one area, everything else and everyone around it suffers too, because there's no balance, right? But yet there's something that keeps pulling us into that. It's a difficult cycle to break free from. With it is the Nine of Coins, so independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment. Discouraged. Here with the Nine of Wands. Sometimes called the Wounded Warrior card, it does represent somebody who has, again, and this points to the history behind this. The devil doesn't show up all at once. The devil is a repeated cycle. The Nine of Wands also represents somebody who has gone through a number of challenges or battles, and yet here's yet another one that they have to get through. So they're taking a break. They're sitting down, feeling discouraged, feeling tired, wondering if they have what it takes to push through, or if they should push through, or if they should give up. The issue, it looks like, is around home and family. Family, home. The Four of Wands is one of the happy home stability cards. So it's centered around that and feeling like you just can't kind of escape it or escape it permanently. Like there's a cycle here. Something's coming back around again. It's in your face again. And it's like, what do I do? We do have the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Wands here, although I'm not sure if it's really a new idea. Because the Knight of Wands is with it. It might be. The Knight of Wands is action. Spontaneous, impulsive, aggressive, assertive action. Fast moving. Perhaps an idea of how to get away from it. But it could be that somebody's struggling here to break free from something. And it might be you, and it might be somebody close to you. Let's clarify a bit. Let's clarify that Ace of Wands as the overall energy. The Ace of Swords. Again, so we have the Ace of Swords twice. And the Two of Cups. A relationship within the home stability. Let's keep clarifying. The Nine of Wands again. This is feeling really discouraged. The Nine of Wands is, how many times do I have to do this? How long do I have to do this? This Devil card energy here. Let's clarify that original Nine of Wands. Centered around a relationship or the home. It might not be about the relationship itself. It might be what's going on in the home affects the relationship itself, or some combination of that energy. In a general reading, of course, the specifics will vary because everybody has their own story. Nine of Wands. The Knight of Wands. We have two Knight of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles, another ace. The Ace of Wands again. Somebody really wants a do-over. Somebody really wants to get away, have a new start, have a new do-over. But this is all clarifying the Nine of Wands. It's like how, when. Clarify the Devil. Five of Wands, conflict, arguing. The Fool could be about risky behavior or somebody, just going off. Somebody acting like the Fool in a negative way, meaning somebody who just kind of takes off on whatever new thing captures their fancy with no disregard for the consequences or the eventual outcome. The Three of Swords, heartache, heartbreak, breakup, perhaps. This looks like a rocky relationship or a relationship which, the Two of Cups implies there's no lack of love and caring between the two of you and a sense of kinship spirit, kindred spirit. But there's an issue, a big issue around this cycle, and it just keeps happening over and over again. And it looks here like somebody's feeling discouraged enough that they may be considering giving up on it or leaving or coming back and forth. It looks like somebody in here maybe has a habit, a pattern of coming and going, and saying that everything's fine with our relationship in spite of the fact that it isn't, and that it's being talked about or argued about regularly. but somebody insisting that everything's fine. That's kind of what I'm getting. The Devil with the Nine of Coins may represent that somebody's really, one person in this connection is obsessed with their own independence, meaning that they would have commitment issues or long-term commitment issues, or even like commitment to taking it any further, meaning like marriage or something that's really viable and concrete, because they feel somehow that it would take something away from them, that it would take away their sense of independence, that by making these certain type of commitments, that it takes something away from them in a negative sense, that somehow they give up all their independence and all their freedom if they do this. It feels like somebody who wants very much to be in this relationship, who enjoys the benefits of being in this relationship, but doesn't really want to put like any specific seal on it or commitment, Clarify the Nine of Cups. Sorry, Nine of Coins. Which is somebody who relies completely on themselves. They don't need help. They don't want help. They're just, they've gotten where they're at on their own, and they're just fine with that energy. The Eight of Cups. Yep, somebody who leaves, walks away. The Seven of Swords perhaps just leaves quickly, doesn't tell anybody their plans. The Tower. Yeah, this looks like somebody in this relationship, Aries, whether it's you or whether it's the other person, really has difficulty making a concrete, public, viable, structured commitment because they're really afraid that perhaps some past horrible thing is going to happen again. Like you guys have been together for some time. Maybe you want to get married. You want to kind of put that sort of final seal on things, but maybe they've done that before and it ended horribly. And they also felt like maybe in the past they had to. It's like they equate being in that kind of a committed relationship with enslavement, or that it takes everything away from them, or that they have to compromise too much of who they are. And fears like that are understandable, but with the Devil card with it, it's too extreme. And it's based on, I believe, like a really horrible a marriage just really going horribly awry, and a bad divorce and all of that stuff, just something that represents, it feels like it comes from some past trauma or hurt. And so because of that, they've gotten really negatively, obsessively Devil card in it, and actually this is the opposite of true freedom. What I'm kind of seeing is that somebody is so rabid about retaining what they feel is their independence and the way that they think they can get it, that they're actually enslaved to that ideology, and they're actually not free, right? They're so enslaved to the idea of what they see their personal freedom as, that they're actually just as chained to it as a dog with a leash and a collar, right? And they don't see that. But I feel like if this relationship isn't at that ultimate crossroads now, it's going to be very quickly, where this relationship is either going to move forward or it's going to dissolve. It's kind of what I feel for a lot of you. And again, this might be you, and it might be the person close to you, or the other person in this Two of Cups relationship. And, the sad thing about it is that there's this karmic connection, The opportunity for this person, whether it's you or the other person, to actually know what it's like to experience that true kind of freedom in a really great, well-matched relationship. That committing and loving doesn't, it doesn't strip you of your individuality and your personal freedoms and rights. But this person can't see this. And the sad thing about it is that, Spirit's presenting the opportunity. Perhaps that's why the two of you are together. But we also have free will and agency too. Let's clarify that original Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords would typically mean that somebody actually gets the truth revealed to them, or that they have this epiphany, this light bulb going off over their head. Judgment. Crossroads. You're being called to act, and what you do you will probably stick with. So there's two paths here. if you stick on the path that you have before, because sometimes this is the second chance card, but the implication with it being a second chance or a final chance is that whatever decisions you made before, you might want to make a different one this time. If you decide to move in a completely different direction, whichever choice that is made here is probably going to be the one that decides the outcome, you know. So if this person makes the choice not to make the choice to move forward, then the relationship will never change and it will likely dissolve. If they do, then if they make the choice to change this or to push this forward, whatever this is, then the path of this relationship will change and it will continue to move forward. Judgment is usually final, meaning that whatever you choose is what's going to be stuck with, right? Good, bad, or in between, right? The High Priestess. This person knows what they should be doing. You know, the High Priestess is the sense of knowing, and Judgment and the High Priestess both. I mean, it's like Spirit is like beating on this person's head going, come on, now's the time. You know what you're supposed to do. Will you do it or not? And that's going to decide how this plays out. The Empress, yeah. Whether it's you viewing them or them viewing you, you're, again, which makes this, you know, all that much more challenging and kind of sad, because I can see the connection and it's quite strong. But again, free will. Some of you, this person will make a decision to go forward, and some of you it won't. I mean, this is a general reading, so it's going to vary. Clarify the Knight of Wands. But I think the person who's struggling with the cycle that the Devil card represents about their fear and their independence and all of that, I think they actually are struggling, you know, because they finally have their Two of Cups. They don't want to lose their Two of Cups, but yet breaking out of these Devil card cycles is so hard. Knight of Wands. The Emperor. The Lovers, a relationship at a crossroads. What are you going to do? The Eight of Wands. Fast movement, travel, making plans for traveling, seeing something, but underneath it wanting to leave. Yeah, I feel like somebody's really struggling here, Aries. You or the other person is really struggling with making that extra commitment or pushing this relationship to the next level, making a choice once and for all. I think somebody's really struggling with doing what they feel is the right thing that they know they should do. But the Devil card energy is like, leave, go off again, do the thing you always do, right? For some of you, the Devil card might be literal. It might be well, not literal in terms of the devil, but literal in terms of like an addiction, and this person just can't quite break free of it, you know. Whatever that Devil card represents, that addictive negative cycle is going to vary in a general reading, but somebody is really, really struggling here. Advice and guidance for Aries. Any advice, guidance, or messages for Aries regarding this situation for the first 2 weeks of June? Oh, too many cards. The Page of Cups with the Three of Cups. Spend some time, particularly fun time and social time, with positive social connections in your community, with your tribe, your friends, the people that you feel are kindred spirits, people that are in alignment with you. Make sure to, because this is in terms of advice, this is about spending time around people that you really, you feel like your people, right? The people you feel kind of that kinship, that connection with. Social time, and also getting support and advice and guidance from those people. The Page of Swords and the Four of Wands. Friends and family. Yeah, this is, so advice, at least for the first 2 weeks of June, because we're just looking at a fairly short period of time. Make sure not to forget in the midst of this to go out and socialize and spend time, some fun time with the people that you really enjoy being with, and vice versa, people you feel, in alignment with. In terms of seeking emotional support and psychological support as well, again, the same people, people that people that you have that connection with, and perhaps people who have stable relationships or marriages, and perhaps have been through some similar things. They may have some good advice and guidance. But there's a strong social energy here too with the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands. It's about spending time not only with people you feel very connected with in terms of home and friends and family, but making sure that at least some of that time is just purely for no other reason than to just enjoy each other's company and have a good time. Okay. Aries, those are your messages for the first 2 weeks of June. I hope you found them helpful. Again, if any of this resonated enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something for yourself or even as a gift for someone else, email me directly, Maggie1Maguire@gmail.com. You'll see that by clicking on the description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.